Hello and welcome to English Vibes, your daily practice space for clear, confident English speaking. I'm David, and I'm excited you're joining me today. In this episode, I speak slowly and clearly. I use simple words and repeat important ideas so you can listen, repeat, and improve your English naturally. Today we'll explore how to talk about your daily habits in English. Not just simple words, but complete thoughts and natural expressions. What habits do you have? How do you spend your free time? What activities make you happy or help you grow? By the end of this lesson, you'll feel confident describing your personal habits using natural English sentences. Why should we practice talking about our habits? Because habits are personal. They're part of who you are. You know your own habits very well. You don't need to think about complex topics or difficult vocabulary. You can simply talk about what you actually do every day. You can describe when you exercise, what books you read, or how you relax. You can explain if you like cooking, gardening, or playing music. You can share how these activities make you feel energized, peaceful, creative, or proud. When you practice talking about your real habits, you're using practical English. English that connects to your actual life. You don't need perfect grammar. You just need to start speaking. As you describe your own habits, you start thinking directly in English. You build confidence. You create natural sentences without translating from your native language. Let's begin with morning habits. Many people have special routines they do each morning to start their day well. These habits can be simple but very meaningful. Let's practice some sentences together. Remember to repeat after me slowly. Every morning I spend 5 minutes writing in my journal. Now you repeat. I like to drink a glass of warm water before I drink coffee. Now you repeat. I always make my bed right after I get up. It makes me feel organized. I do 10 minutes of stretching to wake up my body. Sometimes I listen to calming music while I get ready. I try to eat a healthy breakfast with protein and fruit. I check the weather before I choose my clothes for the day. I like to water my plants on the windowsill every morning. Before I start work, I write down 3 goals for the day. I always say good morning to my family or roommates. Now let's practice a complete story about morning habits. Listen first, then repeat each sentence after me. You can pause to practice each line. I have several morning habits that help me feel positive and ready for the day. First, I always wake up naturally without an alarm if possible. I believe this is healthier for my body and mind. After I get up, I open my bedroom window to let in fresh air and natural light. Then I spend about 10 minutes doing gentle exercises. I stretch my neck, roll my shoulders, and do some simple yoga poses. This helps my muscles feel loose and ready for activity. Next, I go to my kitchen and prepare a nutritious breakfast. I usually eat oatmeal with fresh berries and nuts, plus a cup of green tea. While I eat, I read a few pages from an inspiring book or listen to a motivational podcast. This feeds my mind with positive ideas. Before I begin my work or studies, I take a moment to plan my day. I write down my most important tasks and think about how I want to approach them. Now let's move to afternoon and evening habits. These are often about maintaining energy, staying focused, or preparing to relax. Let's practice together. In the afternoon, I take a short walk to get some sunlight and movement. I drink herbal tea instead of coffee after 2 p.m. to help me sleep better later. I try to call a friend or family member once each week in the afternoon. When I feel stressed, I take 5 deep breaths and count to 10. I like to listen to an English podcast while I do household tasks. I spend time organizing one small area of my home each day. In the evening, I turn off my phone 1 hour before bedtime. I read fiction books to help my mind relax and be creative. I write down 3 things I'm grateful for from that day. I prepare my clothes and bag for tomorrow so my morning is easier. Before sleep, I do a few minutes of meditation or quiet reflection. Some habits happen weekly or monthly. These longer habits are also important for personal growth and happiness. Every Sunday, I plan my meals for the upcoming week. I call my parents or grandparents at least once per week. Once a month, I try a new recipe or cook something special. I visit a museum, park, or new place in my city every few weeks. I write a letter or email to an old friend every month. I clean and organize my entire home once per week, usually on Saturday. Every season, I donate clothes or items I don't use anymore. I take photos of beautiful moments or places I visit. Once a week, I practice a hobby like drawing, playing music, or gardening. I set aside time each month to review my goals and progress. Let me tell you about some healthy habits I've developed. You can listen and then practice repeating this story. Over the past year, I've created several habits that make me feel stronger and happier. Every morning I drink 2 glasses of water before I eat anything. This helps my body start the day with good hydration. I also eat at least 2 servings of vegetables with lunch and dinner. 3 times per week I go for a 30-minute walk in my neighborhood or a nearby park. I don't run fast or try to exercise intensely. I just walk at a comfortable pace and enjoy being outside. Sometimes I listen to music. Sometimes I just listen to the sounds of nature. Every night before bed, I put away all my electronic devices. Instead of looking at screens, I read a physical book or magazine for about 2 minutes. This helps my eyes relax and my mind prepare for sleep. I also keep a small notebook next to my bed where I write down any worries or thoughts. This way, my mind doesn't stay busy when I'm trying to rest. On weekends, I spend extra time cooking healthy meals. I prepare soups, salads, and other nutritious foods that I can eat during the busy weekday. I find cooking relaxing and creative, and it helps me eat better throughout the week. Many people have habits related to creativity and learning. These habits help us grow as people and discover new interests. I spend 15 minutes each day learning new vocabulary in English. Every week I watch one documentary about science, history, or culture. I keep a small sketchbook and draw something interesting I see each day. I practice playing guitar for 20 minutes every evening after dinner. Once a week I write in a personal blog about my experiences and thoughts. I take online courses about topics that interest me, like photography or cooking. I visit the library every 2 weeks to borrow new books. I practice speaking English by recording myself and listening back. I learn about other countries and cultures by watching travel videos. Every month I set a small creative challenge like writing a short story or learning a new song. Good relationships require regular attention and care. Here are some habits that help maintain strong connections with others. I send a thoughtful text message to one friend each day. Every week I have a long conversation with someone I care about. I remember important dates like birthdays and anniversaries. I offer to help family members or friends when they need support. I express gratitude and say thank you more often than necessary. I listen carefully when others speak instead of thinking about my response. I compliment people genuinely when I notice something positive about them. I invite friends to join me for activities like walks, meals, or cultural events. I try to be patient and understanding when others make mistakes. I share good news and celebrate other people's successes with enthusiasm. Personal growth requires regular reflection and planning. These habits help us understand ourselves better and make positive changes. At the end of each week, I think about what went well and what I can improve. I set 3 small, achievable goals at the beginning of each month. I keep a record of books I've read and new skills I've learned. Every few months I evaluate my habits and decide which ones to keep or change. I write about my experiences and feelings in a private journal. I ask for feedback from trusted friends or mentors about my personal growth. I celebrate small victories and progress, not just major achievements. I practice being kind to myself when I make mistakes or face challenges. I regularly think about my values and whether my actions match what I believe. I visualize my future goals and imagine how achieving them will feel. Excellent work today. You've listened to many examples of how to describe personal habits in English. You've practiced pronunciation and rhythm through shadowing. Most importantly, you've started thinking about how to describe your own real habits in English. Remember, habits are very personal. Your habits might be completely different from mine, and that's perfect. The goal is not to copy my habits, but to learn how to express your own habits clearly and naturally in English. Here's your homework. Choose 3 of your own real habits. They could be simple, like, I always drink tea in the afternoon, or I call my mother every Sunday. Practice describing these habits out loud. Start with simple sentences. Then try to add more details about when, why, and how you do these activities. Come back to this lesson often. Each time you listen, try to add more information to your descriptions. Focus on speaking naturally, not perfectly. Your confidence will grow with each practice session. This is English Together, and I'm proud of your commitment to improving your English. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and remember that small daily habits lead to big improvements over time. Until next time, keep building your English confidence one sentence at a time. Goodbye for now.